They're usually not bad, are they, with the ball at their feet either?
Hall is going to take a throw here for Newcastle, who have sent Botman and Chow and Byrne forward, long towards all three at the near post. Byrne couldn't get his head to it, hit by Ramsey, and it smashes against the back of Araujo, who goes to ground. He took that from very close range. Corner to Newcastle coming up. 7-2 to Barcelona in the second leg. 8-3 on aggregate. To Anfield we will go shortly on TalkSport, and of course Atletico against Tottenham will be on TalkSport too. He took that square in the face, actually, Araujo.
He did. It was brave, wasn't it? With his clenched jaw, as he thought it might hit him, but didn't shy away from it. Took the full force on the side of the head.
Well, the Barcelona support are in delirium. Catalan flags being waved, red and blue flags being waved. Newcastle corner in towards Barnes at the near post, and the header flashes wide. 90 seconds to go.
Consolation all that would have been, but Barnes, I think, needs to do better. He was free there with the header at the near post, just needed to be glanced towards the far, got too much on it, up and over.
Well, they're dancing in the stands at the moment, and by the way, it'll be Barcelona against either Atletico or Spurs in the quarter-final. Newcastle have the ball down by the corner flag. We're into the final minute of normal time. Maybe Newcastle will have the last word. Joe Willock from the corner of the area sends it forward to Hall, whose right-footed shot is easily smothered by Szczesny. I think Barcelona felt they really should have had an offside flag anyway. Wouldn't have mattered in the context of the tie. 8-3 Barcelona on aggregate. Again, one of those matches that had to be witnessed in one form or other, seen or heard to be believed. A total second-half collapse from Eddie Howe's Newcastle United. Penny for his thoughts and those of Jason Tindall as well. Newcastle fans stand watching from the very top of the middle tier at the Nou Camp, the top tier unfinished as yet. When they eventually get it done, the capacity will be over 100,000. Byrne in conversation with Szczesny here. There is a delay to play. And that is the end, the final whistle on Newcastle's Champions League campaign. Newcastle's nightmare in the Nou Camp. An embarrassing, chastening and ultimately infamous night for Newcastle United, who have been hammered by a rampant Barcelona, and this result and performance will take some time to sink in and get over for the team from the Tyne. Barcelona were 3-2 up at half-time and only 4-3 ahead on aggregate. Newcastle were excellent in that first period. Anthony Elanga scored twice, either side of goals from Rafinha and Bernal, but Yamal's penalty right on half-time put Barcelona in front on the night and in the tie. And in the second half, they produced a simply blistering attacking display to leave Newcastle clutching at thin air. Fermin Lopez scored 6 minutes into the second half. Lewandowski added 2 of his own before Rafinha's second of the night and Barcelona's 7th, as Newcastle simply capitulated. How will they recover ahead of the Tyne-Wear derby on Sunday, live and exclusive on TalkSport? Goodness only knows, but it is a night that Newcastle fans certainly will never forget, but for all of the wrong reasons. Barcelona 7, Newcastle 2. Barcelona win the tie and go through to the quarter-finals. 8-3 on aggregate.
Listen, it was 3-2 on the night at half-time. It finished 7-2, and the scoring finished with 20 minutes to go. And that just tells you all you need to know about that Newcastle performance after half-time. A total and utter mess. And some serious questions need to be asked. And I need Dean Ashton to answer them as well. Here's the first one. Can Dan Byrne really go to the World Cup after that? Eddie Howe was given a striker stroke midfielder for £65 million last summer. He stayed on the bench, Nick Voltemade. Johan Visser, expensive signing, stayed on the bench. Questions have to be asked about either the recruitment or Eddie Howe's refusal to use those expensive players. Chelsea were embarrassing. Newcastle, that second half capitulation, was that even more embarrassing? I mean, Spurs might well be wading into that debate, so hold off on that one. But after that second half showing, a complete capitulation. I wonder what was said at half time. It was a total mess. And I think all TalkSport listeners know by now, my policy is, when you get absolutely hammered, the manager has to at least offer his resignation. Now, whether that's accepted by the Newcastle board or not, that's what Eddie Howe has to do, in my opinion. Dean Ashton, loads of questions there, but where do you start with that second half performance? From the very first whistle, in that second half, Barcelona completely dominated and Newcastle looked a mess.
It was shambolic, Aid, in that second half. It's been a conveyor belt of hold my beers from English clubs so far in the Champions League. I mean, considering how close they were in that first, how competitive they were in that first, what happened? What happened at half time? What was said that they came out so flat and meek? I mean, it was just bizarre to see how easy they made it for Barcelona. Now, I wouldn't go as far as you to say the manager needs to offer his resignation, because they've got a game at the weekend that could change the mindset completely. But you're right. I mean, Voltemade and Visser must be going, hang on, what's going on? We're in the new camp and I've sat on the bench and not given a look in when I'm watching that type of performance. So many questions, too many, I think, to get the right answers right now.
Yeah, you're right. And I just want to focus a little bit on the defending, because it should feel harsh to focus on Dan Burn, but it doesn't really, because I think he was just awful. But I'm wondering if it is him to blame. Say the Fermin Lopez goal, the first one in the second half to make it 4-2. It's one pass into the centre circle from a left-back position, a first-time pass out to Barcelona's left-hand side where Fermin Lopez finishes brilliantly. It's a defensive mess. It's poor decision-making. But surely Dan Burn has been coached. Jason Tindall, Graham Jones, Eddie Howe, surely they've said, right, this is what Lamine Yamal does. Don't go into the centre circle, or do go into the centre circle. If you go in there, you've got a foul. Whatever it is, surely they must have given him some sort of idea how to at least try to deal with Lamine Yamal, because when he was with him in that centre circle, it was just one little shimmy. It was embarrassing. It was one little shimmy from Yamal, and Dan Burn was just completely going out the wrong exit door. It was as if nobody had introduced him to Lamine Yamal before. It was incredible.
Well, I think it's the manager, the coaching staff, because it happened for the first goal, because Thiaw did the same. Thiaw went all the way in with Yamal, who just twisted away from him, and then all of a sudden Rafinha finds the back of the net. So I don't think it is just Dan Burn, but he's been massively exposed for his lack of mobility, and that is the player he is. But against the best players, he has been found wanting, I think, in a physical nature. But you're right. Why, when you know these players, if I'm the centre-back, even if I've been told by the manager to go all the way in, after that first goal, I'm going, I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm going to expose myself in that area of the pitch and leave a big gap behind. That Lopez goal in particular, you won't see worse defending than that all season. And this is at the new camp against Barcelona. Incredible.
Now, we know Barcelona are elite, but that was a capitulation in the second half. They've got a big game on Sunday. It's live on TalkSport. It's the Time Weird derby at St James Park. Now, Sunderland won the first game at the Stadium of Light. If they double Newcastle, does that mean the heat is on and it's going to get too hot for Eddie Howe?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I think having those two games so close to each other, I think would put huge pressure on his abilities as a manager. But then I think you also have to look at where they were when he took over to where they are now. He has had some great achievements with the club, and that should count for something.
Now, you mentioned very briefly, I want to talk about this with you, about the English clubs in the Champions League. I was asked about this on breakfast by Ali McCoy, and I said you've got to look at them individually. So, very briefly, Man City, Pep's muddled thinking, has he gone a bit stale? Arsenal very good, Spurs very bad. Liverpool wait and see, Newcastle beaten by an elite side. Chelsea, you've got to question the management that's going on there. But actually, some of these sides have been beaten by European elites. Barcelona, PSG, Real Madrid, those are elite sides in Europe. Is it a really surprise the English teams went out to them? Spurs shouldn't be in the Champions League anyway. They finished fourth bottom of the Premier League last season. And like I say, we're waiting on Liverpool this evening. So, I don't know, is it a Premier League problem, do you think?
It's a Premier League arrogance is what it is. It's that we now think that we are the elite league in the world, and we can just go to places like the Nou Camp, to Parc de France and the Bernabeu, and just roll teams over. We're that good now, the Premier League. I'm amazed at some of the defending away from home. When you used to watch teams go away from home and sit there and defend for their lives to just keep the opposition out. I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen any of it, and not even a little bit of it. There's just been this, I think it's arrogance to think that English teams can just go away and bully the rest of Europe, and we've been massively found out because of it.
Amazing. Newcastle have gone, beaten 7-2 on the night. A second half collapse, 8-3 on aggregate. Dean, it's time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Well, good luck with this, Dean.
I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think I'm probably going to give it to Lopez, Fermin Lopez. I just think he's been such a surprise package this season in particular. I thought his intelligence to quite easily open up Newcastle, but just the movement, it allowed then Yamal, who didn't want to be out there with Lewis, to drift in and have that space in the middle for Rafinha to go and collect and Lewandowski. His movement was key, and his movement for the goal was excellent, and the running power and the finish. I really enjoyed his performance tonight.
Yeah, and I must admit, Joe Shannon in commentary said this isn't vintage classic Barcelona, and he's probably right. However, tonight, second half especially, they really played some superb football. Was there, very, very quickly, Dean, was there any Newcastle player came out with credit?
No, I'm afraid not.
That's quick enough.
The kit man, the kit looked great.
Kit looked good. I have to say, with the Time Weir derby coming up on Sunday lunchtime, live on TalkSport, Tonali off injured tonight as well, could be a huge headache for Eddie Howe. That was our Here For It hero, man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here For It. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Wow, just wow. Barcelona irresistible. Dean Ashton, Joe Shannon, thank you very much for second half goals without reply. They completely wiped the Nou Camp floor with Newcastle United, who were desperately poor in that second half, defending to be ashamed of. You're listening to Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes, 18+, begambleaware.org. So Newcastle out. Next on TalkSport, it's Liverpool against Galatasaray. On TalkSport 2, it's Spurs against Atletico Madrid. Spurs 5-2 down from the first leg, and Liverpool one goal behind against Galatasaray going into the second leg at Anfield. Let's get an odds update with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Bet on this season's Champions League action live tonight. Visit ladbrokes.com, 18+, gambleaware.org.
Chris Wood from Ladbrokes is with us. Wow, what a night already, but let's get stuck into the 8 o'clock games. First of all, Liverpool against Galatasaray. Liverpool 1 down coming into this second leg on TalkSport.
Yeah, Liverpool strong favourites here. They're currently 1-4. The draw's in at 6-1, and Galatasaray at 8-1. You can get Liverpool to qualify there at 4-11, and Galatasaray 2-1. Be interested to see what Liverpool do tonight. Whether how they sort of set up. You can back them to go through in extra time. 13-2, or on penalties at 12-1. Hugo Ekitike back in the side tonight. He could be crucial for them after his rest at the weekend. He's 5-2 to score the first goal, 8-15 to score any time. Mo Salah back in as well. He's 9-2 to score the first goal, 23-20 to score any time. Szoboszlai looks like he's playing a bit further forward as well. He could be a bit of value at 3-1 to grab an assist there. And Victor Osimhen will be the main goal threat for Galatasaray. 13-2 to score the first goal and 9-5 to score any time.
I'm at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's live on TalkSport 2. Spurs taking on Atletico Madrid. Listen, it's surely too much of a tall order for Spurs to get through the tie, but maybe win on the night?
Yeah, I mean, they're very slight favourites there. 13-10 to win tonight, 11-4 the draw, and Atletico actually I think they look a fair bet at 9-5. They've gone very strong tonight. You can have Spurs to actually qualify at 12-1 as well. Over 2.5 goals there is 8-13. Over 3.5 is 6-4. Spurs are going to need to get off to a fast start, as Atletico did in the home leg. You can back Spurs to be ahead after 15 minutes at 4-1, or Atletico at 19-4. Kolo Muani up front looks sort of by himself almost tonight. He's 5-1 to score the first goal, 13-8 to score any time. But I think Julian Alvarez there looks a decent price at 11-2 to score the first goal and 15-8 to score any time. And Antoine Griezmann, of course, who had such a great game in the first leg, he's 17-4 to grab an assist there.
And listen, Champions League outright's really interesting because we've just been talking about Premier League sides not defending well. Well, Arsenal are defending well. I think they're defending well enough to win the Champions League. But boy, have we seen some great football, Chris, from some elite teams. Barcelona just now, PSG last night, Real Madrid completely seeing off Manchester City. We're getting down to the big boys, the good sides, the elite sides. So who's going to win it?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, obviously, after the first leg, before the first leg, it was basically all English sides at the top of the betting, but it looks a lot different now. Arsenal are still favourites there at 12-5. Bayern are now in at 3-1. I think they've been very good. Harry Kane playing tonight as well. He's available at 29-10 to score 2 or more goals. PSG are 11-2. Barca are 11-2. So impressive tonight. Real are actually out at 8-1. Could be a little bit of value there, I think. And Liverpool are basically our only runners now, and they're 11-1 to win the whole thing.
Chris, great to talk to you. Thank you very much. That was a look at the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Bet on this season's Champions League action live tonight. Visit ladbrokes.com. 18+, gambleaware.org.
So Spurs on TalkSport 2. The fans in decent voice, actually. They've just been singing the Spurs anthem and trying to get themselves going, trying to get behind the Spurs team ahead of coming out onto the pitch here. That's live on TalkSport 2. But on TalkSport, it's Liverpool Galatasaray. Liverpool 1 down from the first leg. They've already sung You'll Never Walk Alone. Big roar after that song as well. Stuart Pearce, former England captain, is at Anfield for TalkSport tonight. One of the criticisms of Liverpool is that they look like a team of individuals. Tonight they've got to just be a team. Whether they've got individual talent or not, they've got to play as a team.
Yes, absolutely, Aid. I mean, there's no doubt that Liverpool have to have a uniformity this evening. They haven't been at their best. They have been lower than the sum of the parts, undoubtedly, over the course of the last 6-7 months or so. This is the night where it all has to come right for them.
And the atmosphere there sounds sensational. That has to lift those players. They have to respond to what the crowd are doing.
Listen, Aid, over the years, this football club and their supporters have lifted the team over the line on many an occasion, especially in Europe. They'll need that again tonight. There's a few doubts within the ranks. Result at the weekend, not the greatest, and question marks about the manager. I think they need a good performance and a good result to get into the next round to steady the ship slightly.
Well, this game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. The TalkSport Daily podcast is worth subscribing to. The morning after Champions League games, there's a full review of all the action. Fiery Fridays brings you fresh hot takes every Friday. I'm told the hot takes are going like hotcakes every day. TalkSport Daily has something worth listening to, so check it out. Another one out first thing tomorrow morning. Get the TalkSport Daily where you get your podcasts. It's also available in the podcast section of the TalkSport app. And on the TalkSport Daily tomorrow morning, we could well be talking about a stunning Spurs comeback. Who knows? Spurs about to kick off on TalkSport 2. But here on TalkSport, let's take you to Anfield. Slot needs to win over the fans. Liverpool need to win over Galatasaray. They're one down. Second leg, live on TalkSport with former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you, and a very good evening to you for what Liverpool hope will be the latest in a long night of epic spring European evenings at Anfield. There is something about this place that's hard to quantify on these occasions, as a catalogue of visiting sides can testify. A ground where first leg deficits can be wiped out occasionally in epic circumstances. Think Chelsea, think Villarreal, think Barcelona. Time flies. That Barca comeback was 7 years ago. They haven't overturned the first leg loss since, but will tonight be the night? Much depends on it. You could argue that their entire season mirrors this tie. After the heroics of 2025, in some ways this campaign feels like Liverpool are 1-0 down with work to do. The tragic, extenuating circumstances rarely seem to be factored in, but the bottom line is that next season's Champions League place, like this season's, very much in the balance. Galatasaray can't be underestimated. They took Juventus out in the last round. The fact they blew a 3-goal lead in the process underlines the stark disparity between their home and away form. Strong in Istanbul, shaky on the road. They've lost all but one of their away games in Europe this season. Liverpool have to make sure that they can still say that at 10 o'clock tonight. Only victory will do for the Reds. Only a win by 2 or more will prevent extra time. It's Alisson in goal. Frimpong, Canado, Van Dijk and Kerkez. Gravenberch, McAllister. Salah, Szoboszlai and Wirtz. And Ekitike up front. And for Galatasaray in their change kit of all white, Xhaka in goal. Boy, Singo, Balakcia and Jakobs. Torreira and Lemina, who scored the winner in that first leg. Shaloi, Sada and Yilmaz. And Osimhen up front on the Liverpool bench. Gomez, Chiesa, Jones and Gakpo, Robertson, Nioni, Nalo, Morrison and Gamoa, and keepers Woodman and Mamadashvili. It's the season's third meeting of Liverpool and Galatasaray. The last two have both ended in Turkish delight. This, the only one that will bring the sweet taste of success. Reds' revenge tonight will earn the chance to right the wrongs of last season against Paris Saint-Germain. From the kickoff, Liverpool with the ball out of play, turn it over from the resulting throw, but Mario Lemina can bring the ball away. Galatasaray kicking from left to right towards the Kop end of Anfield in this first half and getting it forward for Yilmaz. On the outside, Jakobs making a run, just given a shove there by Szoboszlai's defended it beautifully. Plays through the penalty area, but Liverpool a little bit flat-footed in these early stages. Give it away again. It comes back for Singo. Singo to Sasha Boy. One of the players recalled to the side tonight. They've made 2 changes from that first leg. He lays it back to his goalkeeper, and Xhaka whacks it upfield, but straight through for Alisson. We're a minute in. Beautiful night as it's been throughout the vast majority of the country today. Hardly a cloud in the sky here on Merseyside for most of the day. A long ball over the top here as Ekitike will chase it, brought down though by Sasha Boy. His long bleached blonde locks flowing behind him. Takes it down towards the corner flag, should be able to get it away towards Shaloi. He finds himself in a spot of bother with Milos Kerkez putting the pressure on. It's a free kick that's been given Galatasaray's way in their right back position. 0-0, 90 seconds in, 1-0 to the Turkish side on aggregate, and alongside me tonight here at Anfield, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, the press, evening Jim, the press we've seen at this early stage, Liverpool getting on the front foot, looking to press everything in front of them, and it's probably been a criticism of Liverpool over recent times that they're not pressing particularly well as a team, too easy to play against, and it looks as though they've taken that on board slightly and really got on the front foot.
There's also a late change in referee this evening. Simo Marciniak was supposed to be in charge. He was the man that officiated the last World Cup final, got injured in the warm-up, so it's his compatriot Pavel Rachowski who takes charge of this game tonight. Liverpool on the front foot. Szoboszlai getting it forward. Mo Salah turning on the edge of the penalty area, going down under the challenge from Singo. Referee says play on. Cleared outside the penalty area as far as Kerkez. Kirkes for the blonde-haired Ekitike, who's curled one wide.
Yeah, it's been a good start by Liverpool on the front foot there and playing beyond the back line of Galatasaray. Salah timed his run brilliantly, but just got out-muscled just as he was entering the box. It was that man Szoboszlai who played the ball through, Jim, and I've got to say, where there's been criticism of one or two at Liverpool, I think he's been outstanding this season for him.
Galatasaray take the goal kick, try and play out from the back, and all they've done is siphon it straight out of play for a Liverpool throw. 3 parts of the way in Turkish territory, over on the far side, the Liverpool right in front of the Kenny Dalglish stand. And here's Gravenberch, ball in from him towards Ekitike. Singo heads it away. Brought down by Shaloi, battling with his compatriot Milos Kirkes. He's fouled the Liverpool left back, and it's going to be a free kick to the Reds, about 20 yards inside Galatasaray's half. Good start, but clearly Okan Buruk hasn't brought his side here just to sit and try and protect a 1-0 lead. They're going to try and soak up pressure where they can, but also they'll be more than prepared to hit on the counter-attack. They scored very early, and the two sides met last week, but they've got a free kick to defend here. Dominic Szoboszlai is going to take it. Every Galatasaray player bar one back inside the penalty area. It's not a shooting position for Szoboszlai. It just gives a calming gesture with the palms of both hands for firing this in right-footed, looking for a near-post flick, but it was cleared by Boy, then given away by Lucas Torreira. Actually rescued well by Yilmaz, trying to poke it down towards Shaloi on the right-hand touchline. Ball's gone out of play for what should have been a Galatasaray throw. It was given Liverpool's way instead. And to say that Okan Buruk was furious with that decision is putting it mildly. Osimhen chases, Konate clears, comes down on the left-hand side for Wirtz. Kirkes, fall very quickly to join the attack. Ekitike feathers the ball back to him. 5 yards outside the penalty area. Exchange of passes with Wirtz, and then Kirkes. It's a crispness about Liverpool's attacking play that we haven't always seen in recent weeks. He's laid it back behind square here for Alexis McAllister. His square ball invites Ibrahima Konate forward. He's urged to shoot, might oblige yet, gets it in towards Salah instead. Salah turns out towards Frimpong. Frimpong trying to find a way past Barish Alper. Yilmaz, who's won the free kick over on that far side. Frimpong with some justification, saying that there wasn't a lot he could do, but the referee has found in Galatasaray's favour. And it's a free kick in their left-back position. The opening 5.5 minutes of race by Stu, it's 0-0.
Yeah, they have, and I'm enjoying the intensity that Liverpool have come out and approached the game today. They've really got on the front foot, got after the opposition, both in and out of possession, but they've got to make sure that they pick up and guard against that counter-attack. They were very, very open in the game at the weekend, certainly in the late stages.
This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. It's 0-0, 1-0 to Galatasaray on aggregate, a game that Liverpool have to win this evening. Gala have played 5 games away from home in the Champions League this season. They've lost 4 of them, including at Manchester City, Juventus, Monaco, 5-1 defeat at Eintracht Frankfurt as well. Liverpool's home form steady enough, but they have 5 defeats here at Anfield in League and Cup this season. Shaloi has it on the inside right channel. He's played it back for Sacha Boy, the Frenchman, forced to turn it all the way back for his goalkeeper, who got there in time, Xhaka, away from the onrushing Salah. That's a great ball that's been played forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Sarah wants some Norwich, trying to get in there. And he just ran away from his right foot, and Alisson is able to come out and pick it up at the feet of his compatriot. 7 gone 0-0.
Yeah, once again, just a long ball back to the goalie. The goalkeeper's just launched one forward, and Sarah just managed, well, to bring it down really well.
Ekitike battling with Singo. Singo's able to clear. Ekitike, clever little flick as it comes back. Wirtz, 5 white shirts around him, and Lucas Torreira, once of Arsenal, gets it away. Back from Gravenberch to McAllister. Home crowd really appreciating what they've seen in the opening 7 minutes. Their side on the front foot here. Almost a 4-4-2 that they're playing. Salah is in a relatively central role up front alongside Ekitike. Gravenberch sitting back. It's almost a 4-1-3-2. Not too dissimilar to how Manchester City have been playing in recent weeks. The free kick that Galatasaray will have for 10 yards inside their own half. Just allows them to have a breather, because it's been predominantly Liverpool through the opening 8 goalless minutes.
Yeah, it is. And Konaté's just come into contact with Osimhen, and Osimhen's gone, well, he's gone down holding his wrist basically, but he's rolling around as though he's broken his wrist, and he's still on the turf at the moment. But it surprises me in a lot of games, Jim, that teams don't, especially at home, come out and start with the ferocity that Liverpool have. They play their way into games, which just suits the opposition. I think he might have broken his arm, you know.
Just having another look at it, and immediately that there was impact before he went to ground, and pain etched across his face.
He's literally, well, apart from rolling around in agony, he's literally not moved from where he landed, and he was clutching that arm before he actually hit the surface. That wasn't embracing himself as he landed. And he's holding it sort of halfway up his forearm, isn't he?
He's having the old magic spray put on. All of a sudden, the area around him looks like a 1970s discotheque. There's so much dry ice down there.
They just dropped a silver ball down as well, just above his head. You know?
I'm not convinced he's going to be able to continue. Victor Osimhen, who scored the winner against Liverpool in the league stage when Galatasaray beat them 1-0. Didn't lose here with Napoli back in 2022. The boozer because he's got back on his feet. But the medical staff had made their way onto the field, and now there's an angry reaction over on the far side from some of the Liverpool players, and Van Dijk is leading that. Szoboszlai is going across and having a word, and Mario Lemina's trying to calm things down, and the referee is saying to Osimhen that he needs to leave the field, which he knows is the case. Irrespective of the severity of the injury, he's got to leave the field having received treatment.
One thing and another, it's probably a good thing for Galatasaray to just break the momentum of the game up. Now, whether they've done that on purpose or not, but he does seem in some form of pain. But this day and age, that doesn't mean a great deal, does it?
It's 0-0. We've played 10 minutes. We're back underway with a long ball swept out to the Galatasaray right. Looking for Sacha Boey. It's headed away and then brought down by Florian Wirtz. Little reverse ball from him down to Milos Kerkez, who's been able to keep it in on the left-hand touchline. He lays it back for Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk square to his right-hand side for Konaté. Konaté clipping one over the top. Salah's going to chase after that. Frimpong hammers after it as well. Salah's done well. Pulls it back before it goes out of play for a goal kick. Frimpong onto it. Laid back for McAllister in the midfield. Virgil van Dijk has it now. He's in a central area. He's 20 yards outside the penalty area. Back from him to McAllister. Ryan Gravenberch. Every Galatasaray player between him and goal, they've condensed things defensively right around the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool with Wirtz, whose ball in is deflected. They'll try and bring it away with Torreira. Torreira down towards Boy, but it's given away. Ekitike had his pocket picked. Another challenge flies in from Shaloi. Ekitike trying to win it back. Liverpool emerging with possession. Edge of the penalty area. Right-footed effort. Save. 0-0 here. Deadlock broken in the Championship with St Mary's. Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, Norwich 0. Finn Azaz with the goal. James Bree throw taken. Flicked on. Azaz inside the penalty area from an acute angle. Thrashed the ball home. Southampton 1, Norwich 0.
He's their leading scorer this season. That's goal number 10. Saints have won 9 of their last 12. Opponents Norwich 11 of their last 14. So great battle between two informed teams on the south coast. And the Saints lead it. They'll be in the top 6 tonight, above Wrexham on goal difference, if they can hang on to that lead. 0-0 here between Liverpool and Galatasaray. I will be off to Tottenham very shortly, but that is a game that you can hear live on TalkSport 2. Sacha Boey has gone down injured here. He's hurt his arm as well. Arne Slot is furious. He thinks that there's gamesmanship going on here. Sasha Boy getting back to his feet. That gives us the opportunity just to nip back to North London. Here's Alex Crook. Well, we can't go to Tottenham for now, but it is still 0-0 in that game. Atletico 5-2 up on aggregate earlier. Newcastle beaten 7-2 at Barcelona in a game that was 2-2 going into first half stoppage time. 7-2, 8-3 the aggregate defeat, and the winners of that Spurs Atletico Madrid tie will take on Barcelona in the quarter-finals. These two playing for the right to meet PSG, who put Liverpool out last season. High ball comes down, Shaloi has controlled it beautifully on the Galatasaray right. Kirkes comes back, trying to win it back from him, he can't. Then Torreira slides in with McAllister, headed on by Lamina. Out of the Galatasaray left, he's looking for Yilmaz, but it was cleared. Lamina has another go at guiding it forward. And Gravenberch can bring it down and will flick it through the midfield towards Wirtz. Liverpool looking to get Gravenberch forward for Ekitike. Can't find him, and again Galatasaray have a play it out. It's Mario Lamina this time who's in need of treatment. I knew, Alex Crook, would have another opportunity to come back to you before too long.
Tottenham 0, Atletico Madrid 0. The visitors have had the ball in the back of the net. Ademola Lookman finishing at the far post, but the goal ruled out for offside. So Spurs still just a 3 down on aggregate, 0-0.
Cheers, Crookie. So 5-2 on aggregate, that one to Atletico Madrid. 1 to the Galatasaray on aggregate in this one, 0-0 on the night. Bayern Munich against Atalanta, still 0-0 on the night, but Bayern Munich's tie against Real Madrid is all but in the book already. They're 6-1 up on aggregate. Then the Championship, Southampton leading Norwich 1-0. League 2 action tonight as well. The MK Dons unbeaten in 14 goalless with Colchester. Well, we played 14 minutes in theory. I think the ball's been in play about 7 of those, maybe, Stu, so far?
Yeah, I've got to say it's been an electric start from Liverpool, and Galatasaray they've copped a couple of injuries. Maybe one of those out of 3 was a little bit shady and a bit of time wasting. I'm not sure the other 2 were. Osimhen at the moment still walking around nursing his paw and still doesn't look too comfortable with that arm. Head injury earlier, and with this home support, we talk about playing in Turkey, Jim, how volatile it is, but I tell you what, tonight this place is rocking.
It really is. They believe, and they know how important they're going to have to be. Kirkes. Remember, there's a stadium ban for away fans. In theory, there are plenty in Galatasaray colours here at Anfield tonight. There have been on the trains on the way up today as well. Kirkes winning it back, doing well, darting in, getting there ahead of his international teammate Shaloi. Ball played out to the Liverpool right-hand side for Jeremy Frimpong. Turn it back inside his own half of the centre circle for Konate. Long diagonal from him. Ekitike's got in, trying to take on Boy, who just leant down when Ekitike was then trying to control it and made it look as though Ekitike was guilty of dangerous play, raising his left foot to try and control the ball. And a free kick's been given to Galatasaray inside their own box. 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, it's 0-0. We've not had too much goal chancing ever, but I've got to say Liverpool's press has been brilliant. Every time the ball's been lost in Galatasaray's final third, they've to a man, they've been tight, they've been pressing, and I think the fans will be delighted by how Liverpool have approached this game.
Well, on the last 13 occasions that Liverpool in Europe have lost the first leg of a tie 1-0 away from home, they have gone through on 9, so history favours them being able to turn this around, as well as Galatasaray's poor away form. But they haven't forced Xhaka into a decent save in the early stages for all the tempo they've shown, the positions they've been able to get into. And maybe it's a little hangover from the weekend. Couple of loose balls being played through the midfield from men in red, and as a result of that, the crowd just staring at a little bit of discontent. Ball down towards Sasha Boy. It's a good turn, apart from the fact he ran out of room, and Kirkes immediately picks the ball up and takes the throw. The mulleted Hungarian back for Virgil van Dijk, square towards Konate. He'll come through the centre circle, ball into the feet of Wirtz. Wirtz for Szoboszlai, great reverse ball from him. Salah helping it off. Frimpong right hand side of the area, pull back. Wirtz urged to shoot, doesn't. Takes it on another step, in towards Ekitike, too high for him. Singo heads it away. Gravenberch trying to get there, cleared by Torreira. And out of play for a Liverpool throw, 0-0.
Brilliant play by Liverpool there. Playing through the thirds, got behind Frimpong, couldn't lift it over. Wirtz has managed to take, I think he should be shooting to be fair, but they're playing with some ferocity at the moment, and the question mark is, can Galatasaray stay with the pace that they're setting?
Kirkes, bottom left hand corner of the box, Sasha Boy knocks it away. A boy playing at right back, Singo, who played at right back in the first legs, moved into the middle because Davinson Sanchez, the old Spurs defender, is suspended tonight. Here's Ryan Gravenberch. Gravenberch's ball forward towards Salah. Gravenberch gets it back, then plays in Wirtz, on towards Frimpong, flip back in towards a penalty spot, where he only found Lucas Torreira, and Torreira, calm as you like, powered a back header straight to his goalkeeper.
Well, showed some real composure there, and it was probably just what they needed at that time. It's been harum scarum up to now for them.
Lucas Torreira, in his Arsenal days, twice scored here at Anfield. You might remember an extraordinary League Cup game between Liverpool and Arsenal a few years back now that ended 5-5. Torreira scored that day. Mario Lemina in the Galatasaray side, who scored the winner last week, netted a winner for Fulham here in a Premier League game under Jurgen Klopp. Alisson gets it away. And Ekitike's done well. He's come towards the ball and flicked it on towards Wirtz. Wirtz back towards Ekitike. Wirtz continues his run forward. Ekitike back behind square for Alexis McAllister. McAllister to Szoboszlai, straight back again. Torreira making life difficult. He's gone to ground and he's writhing around in pain. Referee dismissively says play on. Ball in towards the near post. Cleared by Abdul Karim Badakcha. And out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Liverpool right. And still, Lucas Torreira is rolling around, clutching his right ankle. He'll move back now onto his left shoulder and then rolls around again and moves back onto his right shoulder. Somebody once told me 25, 30 years ago, it may have been Alvin Martin, he said, the more a player writhes around, the less pain he's in. I've never seen too many episodes to disprove that theory.
No, he's a wise old sage, is Alvin. He's put a few players on their backside in his time.
Yeah, they didn't ride too much. 20 minutes in, it's 0-0 between Liverpool and Galatasaray. Osimhen is over on the near touchline, and he is having that arm looked at again.
Listen, the way he's holding his arm, he's literally holding it close to his body. Now, if it concerns you that much, you're going to be no use to your team whatsoever, Jim.
Well, they've got Icardi on the bench. They've got Leroy Sané on the bench as well. We're 20 minutes in, and it is the traditional, still forever wonderful tribute to Diogo Jota. McAllister back for Wirtz, 0-0 here at Anfield, and he's put that high into the Annie Road and away to our left-hand side with a shot from distance. And Xhaka, the goalkeeper, will be in no hurry to take the goal kick. He's got clean sheets in both of his games against Liverpool so far this season. You're listening to Liverpool Galatasaray in the Champions League. It's live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they are here for it. Live for Champions League football for you earlier as Newcastle led him 7 at Barcelona. A 7-2 defeat. Live over on TalkSport 2 right now. Spurs 0-0 against Atletico Madrid. If you've got the app, it's dead easy to change between games. Catch all of the action as it unfolds. Here's Singo for Galatasaray. Right-footed, just chipped forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Didn't get there. Kanate heading it away from Yilmaz, who played on the right wing last week, but he's out on the left this week with Noah Lang having been left out. Ball goes out to the left-hand side. Another opportunity for Galatasaray to bring it forward. Yilmaz is going to scamper after that. He's never going to keep it in. It's a poor pass from Jakobs. Straight out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Liverpool right. 20 minutes in, 0-0. Galatasaray coach Okan Buruk, who was part of the side that won the UEFA Cup against Arsenal in Copenhagen back in 2000. He's got a Galatasaray scarf around his neck, purely for decoration, because it's certainly not cold enough to justify it. And what a Galatasaray career he's had as a player and manager. It's his 500th game with the club tonight, over both disciplines combined. 195 games as a manager, and he's won more than 140 of them, which is an astonishing record. 3 successive league titles. He's hoping to propel them through to their first Champions League quarter-final in 13 years. Liverpool the better side tonight, though, at the moment. Turkish side still with the aggregate lead here on TalkSport. 25 minutes in, goalless on the night. Long Ekitike crossfield ball brought down by Frimpong. Frimpong can't get away from the bleach blonde Baron Sharper Yilmaz. Salah's dropped a little bit deeper to be able to link up the play. He finds Van Dijk. Van Dijk getting it forward. First time cushion layoff comes from McAllister. Szoboszlai, the Wirtz out towards Frimpong. Ekitike's got to make sure he stays onside. Cross comes in, deflected to Salah, whose touch was then heavy, and Shakur can bend down and pick up the loose ball.
Yeah, Frimpong's had a couple of good contacts on that right-hand side, but he's just got to improve his delivery a little bit. You know, just a bit more quality in what he's trying to deliver is going to be helpful to Liverpool.
Szoboszlai brings the ball under control in the midfield. Wirtz again looking for the ball over the top of the defender Jakobs for Salah's run, and he couldn't find him. Jakobs then lost it. Gravenberg, Szoboszlai, edge of the penalty area. McAllister's shot is blocked by Singo. Wirtz, that's deflected and out for a corner.
I'll tell you what I'm enjoying about Liverpool's performance today, not just the intensity, and it was just what was needed for this tie with the state of the game and the scoreline. I'm enjoying the fact that they'll play through you when they can at the right times, but also as well they're looking to play in behind you with one pass as well. And it was almost like a throwback to Klopp's days, where when you put teams up against them, they'll hurt you by playing through you, but also going beyond you.
Harry Kane's missed the penalty for Bayern Munich. 0-0 against Atalanta, still 6-1 up on aggregate. 0-0 here as well, 1-0 to Galatasaray on aggregate. In comes the corner, right foot in from the edge of the penalty area, and he's in. That's a magnificent set piece, and it is Liverpool's man of the moment, their best player this season, Dominic Szoboszlai, coming up trumps again. Corner just worked back into a vacant area on the edge of the D. Szoboszlai walked onto it and stroked it left-footed in the bottom left-hand corner. Magnificent set piece, brilliantly executed. Szoboszlai for Liverpool, who lead on the night and have it all square on aggregate. Now they've got 65 minutes to win the game from here to go through.
Well, everything they've done up to this moment in time is suggesting that they will go through if they keep this power play. They've got every chance of doing so. Brilliantly worked move, I've got to say. They vacated the edge of the box. Szoboszlai's come in, and it's easy to get those finishes wrong. He's just guided it into the far corner.
Szoboszlai again. What a season he's having. It might not be a vintage Liverpool campaign, and he's in the form of his life. It's his 12th goal of the season. And he scored at the weekend and scores again tonight. 1-0 to Liverpool. Now that Harry Kane penalty that we were talking about against Atalanta that was missed, goalkeeper was off his line as he made the save, so it was retaken and Kane scored it. His 46th goal of the season, and that's just for Bayern. That doesn't include his England goals as well. So Bayern leading 1-0. They're 7-1 up on aggregate. Liverpool lead 1-0. It's 1-1 on aggregate now.
Yeah, as I say, the game's exactly where Liverpool want it at this moment in time. What they need to do, just keep this intensity if they can. And they're shaking Galatasaray. This is why I can never understand, Jim, why teams, when they're playing at home, come out and start slowly, pass the ball around the back, and it just deadens the fans and everything. their performance tonight, Liverpool, so far, has accelerated the excitement on the terraces.
I know it's a footballing cliche about the great European nights at Anfield. There is a uniqueness and an idiosyncratic nature to this place on nights like this that just brings the best out of the men in red and the worst of the opposition as well. Free kick to Liverpool, a throw actually to Liverpool over on the far side. They lead through a wonderful goal from Szoboszlai. Have only won one of the last 4 games in League and Cup, Liverpool, coming into this, but beaten here only once in the last 12. Long ball forward through them in from Alisson. Terrible back header. Salah's in. Good save from the keeper, who then catches the loose ball at the second attempt. Shocking back header straight through for Salah, who was through in the inside left channel. Opened up his body, trying to play it around the goalkeeper. Xhaka did well, really well. Made the save, and then was able to catch the loose ball before it fell Salah's way.
Yeah, I don't know how much credit I would give to Xhaka. I think he done well, make no mistake. But I think Salah's got to move that ball to his left and slot it low to the goalkeeper's right-hand side. I think he scores then. He's tried to chip it, and Xhaka's held his ground.
Kirkaz. Kirkaz plays it back for Virgil van Dijk, and now to Alisson. Mo Salah's name emanating around Anfield. If he scores tonight, it will be his 50th Champions League goal in 97 ties in this competition, which includes one in the final, of course, back in 2019 when Liverpool won it. Only 9 of those goals have come this season, or 9 of his Liverpool goals in League and Cup come this season. Ekitike coming forward. Salah wants it, peels away. That's creating space. Ekitike going along. Singo comes right across, blocks him off, and the goalkeeper picks up the loose ball and bowls it out for Yilmaz.
Yeah, good defending by Singo.
Konate needs to do some good defending at the other end, and has done that. It's gone shoulder to shoulder with Yilmaz, who is looking for a free kick. The referee wasn't having it. Good turn in the midfield. Ball played down towards Wirtz. Ekitike on the left-hand side of midfield for Liverpool. Is the comeback on in North London? Here's TalkSport's Alex Crook.
It could well be, Jim. Tottenham 1, Atletico Madrid 0. It was a cross from Mateus Tell down the right-hand side, and a glancing header into the far corner from Randall Kolo Muani. Tottenham 1, Atletico Madrid 0.
5th goal of the season for Randall Kolo Muani. Spurs unbeaten in 24 home European games, which stretches back 6 years. They need at least a 3-goal victory tonight. Here's Ekitike trying to toe poke his way through inside the area. Oh, he's missed it. 9 yards out. Blazes over the bar. Don't know whether the goalkeeper got a touch on that, whether it took a nick off a defender on his way through. The corner has been given.
Yeah, I think he got a touch off some good defending there from what I can see. What a chance that was. Literally 6-7 metres out. He's hit it. And it's cannoned off, I think, Singo.
Another Liverpool corner. They lead 1-0 on the night. Can they get their noses in front on aggregate for the first time in this tie? Scored from the last corner. This one, in swinger. Van Dijk heads it back. Headed onto the bar by McAllister. And the whistle has gone, so it probably wouldn't have counted. Well, the first corner was laid in short to the edge of the penalty area, and Szoboszlai whacked it in. That one goes in really deep. Plenty of vicious swerve on it, as you would say. It was imparted with violence. Van Dijk coming round the back, headed it back in, and McAllister, 4 yards out, hit the bar with a header.
Yeah, really well worked again. I'm not sure what he's actually seen there, the referee. He's given something, maybe a push or an infringement on the goalie, I think, from McAllister.
So Liverpool 1 up, Spurs 1 up, 2 down on aggregate. Bayern 1 up, 6 up on aggregate against Atalanta. So they're going through. They'll be meeting Real Madrid. And as things stand, it'll be Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. Well, we still don't know who'll be going through from this time. Liverpool against Galatasaray, 1-1 on aggregate as Konaté's foul. A free kick that Virgil van Dijk will take. Ball played forward, Singo's headed away. It's not a great header, it's Wirtz chopping it back onto his right foot. Right-footed effort, good save from the goalkeeper. Xhaka denying Szoboszlai, who hit that one from further out with even more venom. Beautifully struck, not quite in towards the corner enough. Xhaka dived to his left and poured it away.
Yeah, some strike, and once again Wirtz has been sort of almost front and centre in everything that they do, Liverpool, on the build-up.
Long throw taken down the Galatasaray left. Shaloi chasing it from the right wing, covered a lot of ground. And Liverpool won it back. Van Dijk getting it forward. Milos Kerkez running a good 20-30 yards now into Galatasaray territory. Picked up by Ekitike. In front of us, we're situated very high, perfect vantage point here at Anfield, midway inside the half that Liverpool are attacking in this first half. Ryan Gravenberch's got possession in his yellow boots inside the centre circle, and he's turned beautifully to find Szoboszlai in space. Right-footed clip ball down towards the left for Ekitike, who can't control it. And it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Galatasaray right. I think the visitors are going to be making a change very shortly. Noah Lang's going to be coming on. Let's get half-time details from the Championship game. Down at St Mary's, talkSport's Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, Norwich 0. Finn Azaz's 10th of the season separates the two. Throw-in taken by James Bree, flicked on by Larin, and Azaz did the rest from a tight angle. If Saints win, they go into the playoffs. Southampton 1, Norwich 0.
And in League Two, still goalless between Milton Keynes and Colchester. Here's Sasha Boy. And then Gabriel Sara lofts one superbly out towards the left-hand side for the fullback. Ismail Jakobs, the Senegalese international, makes his way forward and then continues his run. Gets a return ball from Yilmaz. Szoboszlai has covered so much ground there to track that run and slides in, blocks the cross but concedes a corner.
Yeah, I've got to say, over the last couple of months I've looked at Szoboszlai, especially playing in a full-back position. His defensive work is very good. We know what he can do creative-wise, and goals, we've seen that tonight.
Yes, 12th of the season separating the two sides on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. Yilmaz walks away from the corner flag. There are 6 inside the penalty area for Galatasaray to attack this. Jakobs in the D is unmarked if it's played his way. It's in towards the near post and easily headed away by Kerkez, who's the nearest Liverpool player. And then Yilmaz backpedaling. He's put under almighty pressure by Frimpong. He has to fire the ball back for his goalkeeper, Xhaka. Long ball forward from him is returned with a looping header from Van Dijk, and then Boy got caught in the face by Wirtz. Now the slot again with an angry reaction. I do think he got caught there, Sasha Boy. It's going to be a free kick to Galatasaray on halfway. 9 to go to the break, 1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, as I say, it's been a super performance so far. Liverpool will be absolutely delighted if they can possibly get this next goal as well to get them in front at half-time. It's probably no less than they deserve, I would say.
60-40 the possession, but 10 shots to 1 in Liverpool's favour. Tells the story of their domination, and they'll bring it forward again here. Szoboszlai almost able to bend it over the top of the centre-half Badakcha, who came out with Salah. Out of the touchline, just got it away by Badakcha. Back it comes from Van Dijk. Ekitike will get to that first and win a corner off Boy. Well, it has actually gone to the other side of the corner flag, out for a throw, which Milos Kerkez is going to come across to take. Well, Liverpool have lost their last 2 home legs in the round of 16. Beaten by PSG last year, having won in Paris in the first leg. They lost 1-0 in the second and went out on penalties. They also went out in the round of 16 in their previous Champions League campaign, where Real Madrid put 5 past them here. But they're winning this one, and they're really good value for it as well. Frimpong back for Konaté. 8 minutes to go to half-time. Too much on Konaté's ball forward for Salah's run, who acknowledges the intent of the pass. Well, the execution left a bit to be desired. It's out of play for a goal kick. And here on TalkSport, the thoughts of the former England captain, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think this level of performance that Liverpool have displayed tonight is everything that the crowd want, probably not just tonight, but certainly going forward to finish the season. If they keep playing like they are now, they'll be a Champions League team next year without a doubt. And they might even get some silverware, to be honest with you.
There's a lovely drag back there by Ekitike, and McAllister almost able to thread it through for Salah. Yilmaz takes it out towards the far side. Szoboszlai in there to win it back again.
Yeah, he's absolutely superb, Szoboszlai there. Recovery run, turning the ball over, inducing a foul. And I've got to say, looking at Galatasaray at the moment, I think they've been shaken to the core. The intensity of this performance by Liverpool has shaken them, and they almost look at a team that are feeling sorry for themselves.
Well, they play 5 away games in the Champions League. Only one of their results has been good enough for them to progress tonight. Another one would take it to extra time. The other 3 would see them out after 90 minutes. Another poor challenge comes in. This one on Shaloy, and Kirkes is going to be spoken to by the replacement referee, Rachkowski. Nothing more than a wag of the finger, admonishing the left back for the challenge. What's it like when you're playing up against an international teammate in a match of this pedigree and status?
Well, listen, whether I'm the man to ask, I don't know. I just look straight through them as I've never met them before in my life.
Good tactic.
Well, it worked for me on the odd occasion.
Sarr, former Norwich man who was once in the Canary side, beaten 5-2 here in an FA Cup tie. Out towards Yilmaz, left-hand side of the box. Not the worst ball in towards the far post, but Osimhen coming around the back's hardly been involved since picking up that arm injury. And all he could do is head it into the side netting. Liverpool take the goal kick in double quick time, and Kirkes is really disappointed with himself that having been played in by Van Dijk, pushing forward towards the halfway line, he just hung a high ball straight out of play for a Galatasaray throw. 2 Galatasaray players in collide with each other. It was Torreira and Badakcha. Liverpool get a throw, and then we'll get another one. They lead 1-0 with 5 minutes to go to half-time.
Yeah, Slot will be absolutely delighted with this performance. I think they would have liked to have tested the goalkeeper a touch more than they actually have. That would be the downside of what you've seen, but they've done so well.
You get a throw over on the far touchline. Deadlock broken in that League 2 game. MK Dons a goal up at home to Colchester. It's an OG from the Colchester United goalkeeper Matt Macy, as the MK Dons look for a 3rd straight win to extend their unbeaten streak to 15. Looking good for promotion at the moment. Ball cleared towards halfway by Galatasaray. Brought down by Shaloy, then by Torreira. Flicked on then by Osimhen. Szoboszlai, neat and tidy in possession as always, and just rolls it forward for Salah, who's used his pace and strength to win a corner. Looks as though he's going to be able to get around the side of Jakobs, but the corner's the next best thing.
Yeah, to be fair, Salah's looked more lively than I've seen him for a number of weeks. I've got to say he's been playing well. And once again, Szoboszlai, fantastic. His awareness of people around him, just gravitating with the ball and then playing the correct ball in behind the back line.
Well, it scored from the first goal, and the second one was dangerous. They hit the bar from that. What they're going to be able to do from this? 2 inside the 6-yard box to attack it. 4 more on the edge of the penalty area, really deep. It's another very deep outswinger. Back in from Van Dijk. Should be easy for the goalkeeper. Oh, he's dropped it under pressure. He was judged to have been pushed. Now, Alexis McAllister stood his ground. Goalkeeper came out, tried to catch it, dropped it, and the referee found in his favour.
I think the goalkeeper got very, very fortunate there, Jim, I must say. He's gone up, he's taken it. Maybe McAllister made a back for him, potentially.
Yeah, I think having seen the replay, probably just took half a step back, Alexis McAllister. Meant that contact was inevitable. The referee got it right. 3 to go to half-time. It's going to be a lot of stoppage time, you would think. Probably 5 minutes or so after the early Galatasaray injuries, including the one to Osimhen, which is clearly still troubling in that right arm. Liverpool with Szoboszlai scooping a ball on the outside of the right boot down towards Miloš Kerkez, and out for a throw as it's cleared by COYI.
He's played well tonight, Kerkez, I think. Full of energy, full of beans, roaring forward on this left-hand side. And been aggressive in his challenges, that's for sure.
Getting the nod ahead of Andy Robertson again this evening. Konate is 15 yards inside the Galatasaray half. No pressure coming in on him. He gets it forward towards Salah. Salah for Ekitike. He's trying to lob it back inside the penalty area. Jakobs covered the run. And then Lemina's claiming there was a high boot from Ekitike. The referee didn't think so. And Liverpool recycle it, work it back for Van Dijk. But every body apart from Alisson is in the half of the pitch that Liverpool are attacking. Szoboszlai to Ekitike. Back again for Dominic Szoboszlai. Back behind square for Alexis McAllister. McAllister coming onto it. To his left-hand side, Florian Wirtz. Right-footed ball curved inside the penalty area. Jakobs heads it away. Helped further clear on the edge of the penalty area by Lemina. It breaks down for Wirtz again for Liverpool. Wave after wave of pressure from the Reds here. McAllister to Kerkez again. 90 seconds to go to half-time. Dead level on aggregate. The most significant moment of the night still lies ahead of us. Wirtz. Shown inside by Sacha Boy, who's struggled to deal with him. Szoboszlai, another great ball. He's been brilliant tonight. Well, Frimpong's lost it as he tried to beat Yilmaz. And the experienced Turkish winger stood his ground. Cleared by Jakobs. Osimhen chasing after it. At least to start with, knew that he was going to be beaten, and Virgil van Dijk is able to easily pick it up for Liverpool and waves players forward. You're listening to Liverpool Galatasaray in the Champions League. It's live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Frimpong trying to deal with an awkwardly bouncing ball in front of him inside the penalty area. Half cleared. Szoboszlai again. That one was going wide. Singo cleared it high up in the air. Liverpool get another opportunity to work it in, and it then hits Salah from Frimpong's cross. And ricochets off the Egyptian wide for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's just the one part of Liverpool's game that's letting them down. I've got to say, Frimpong's delivery on that right-hand side. He's had a couple of great opportunities, and he's just hitting the first man a little bit too regularly. And on another subject, I don't think we'll be seeing Osimhen in the second half. I think he's been an absolute passenger. They're almost playing with 10 men. He's guarding that arm that much. He doesn't want any physical contact whatsoever.
Yeah, you would imagine that Noah Long, who's stripped and ready for action at one stage, will be coming on. It is 5 additional minutes at the end of the first half. We're in them now. Van Dijk heads away. And Szoboszlai's goal 20 minutes ago, the difference between the two sides on the night. Xhaka miscontrolling an innocuous ball back to him. He had plenty of time to remedy the situation. Jakobs with a clearance that was well blocked by Szoboszlai. And then Frimpong trying to make life difficult for Yilmaz has been too physical in that defensive intervention. Yilmaz then takes a free kick with an early ball forward. Torreira made the run, and Dijk saw him coming a mile off, knocks it away. Wirtz tries to help it on, but Singo can mop that up. Back to his goalkeeper, who whacks it right-footed and straight out of play for a Liverpool throw. We've got more live action for you tomorrow. The breakfast will give you your opportunity to reflect on everything that has happened today. It's Alan Brazil along with Gabi Agbolahor tomorrow on TalkSport Breakfast from 6. And remember, you can watch the show on your smart TV or the TalkSport YouTube channel. No excuse. Roll call 6 o'clock tomorrow morning for breakfast. And then tomorrow night, more live Europa League action. Forest and Villa, both in action. A double bill on the TalkSport network. The Stu's old club in Denmark to take on Midtjylland. They're one down from the first leg at the City Ground. It's 5:45 on TalkSport 2. Villa a goal up as they host Lille. And that's 8 o'clock here on TalkSport. This time tomorrow, Friday, more live Premier League action. Bournemouth against Manchester United, the start of week 31. You won't hear it anywhere else. That's this time Friday on TalkSport. Szoboszlai trying to get on the end of a Frimpong cross, and then a challenge on Jakobs as he tried to bring the ball down. Oh, the referee's given a penalty. Said he was in the box. I thought the initial contact might have been just outside. And Szoboszlai with a little clench of the fist as he gets back to his feet. VAR clearly is going to have a look at this. And Jakobs, the Senegalese left-back's protesting his innocence. Szoboszlai came in from his blind side after a heavy touch by Jakobs. Having a look at a replay now to examine the geography of the situation. Maybe Jakobs is saying there was no touch at all.
That's a penalty. I'm afraid he's caught him on the shin. And Szoboszlai has induced the penalty, to be quite honest with you. His effort and his drive to actually get there has drawn the challenge. And it's no less than Liverpool deserve, I've got to say.
So referee Rachowski pointing to the spot. He gave himself a lot of thinking time. But having pointed to the spot, he's given Liverpool the opportunity now to take an aggregate lead in the tie. Salah has put the ball down and then had to physically protect the ball. Wasn't respecting the ball, that was protecting the ball and protecting the penalty spot from a couple of Galatasaray players who looked as though they were coming across to maybe try and scuff it up. Big moment here. Mo Salah on 49 Champions League goals. This in first half stoppage time to give Liverpool a 2-0 lead. Saved by the goalkeeper who kicks it away. Golden opportunity for Mo Salah from the penalty spot and he spurned it. Poor penalty, too central, not hard enough. Easily kicked away. It's his 9th penalty miss in Liverpool colours. And it remains 1-0 on the night and level on aggregate.
Yeah, I think he's almost got caught in two minds. He's half tried to chip it down the middle. He's sort of half pulled it. The goalie's left a leg there and that's been enough. And that's a major, major blow for Liverpool.
Alisson clears. The way the game has gone, you would imagine it's not going to be a hugely significant moment in their season, but there's the clear, evident potential that it might be. Here's McAllister coming forward now. Not fouled by Lamina, who's so one possession back. Turns it forward for Sara. Ball from him, an excellent for Yilmaz, who's goal side of Frimpong. Running to the edge of the penalty area. Frimpong back goal side now, but they haven't got the ball back, Liverpool. Shaloi out to the left-hand side. Ball in from Jakobs. Shaloi with a header. Diving header that Alisson can comfortably grasp. And he'll try and restart play quickly to see if there's time for one last Liverpool attack before half-time. But Salah's penalty saved in the 3rd minute of first half stoppage time. Here's Florian Wirtz. Wirtz, couple of step overs, still he goes. Rolls in Salah, good save again. Wirtz, brilliant second save. Abdul Karim Balakcia was back. And between him and the goalkeeper, they dealt with the second one. Gravenberch then unloads from distance. And the goalkeeper doesn't have time to clear before the half-time whistle goes. Liverpool have played really well. 45 minutes. They've had a stack of chances. Goal brilliantly taken by Dominic Szoboszlai. McAllister's hit the bar, but Salah hit the goalkeeper from the penalty spot just moments ago. And then a double save by goalkeeper Xhaka has kept parity on aggregate intact for Galatasaray going into half-time. Liverpool continue to play like that. They'll have no problems at all. But how important will that Salah penalty miss prove to be? Half-time, 1-0 to Liverpool on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. Dave?
Jim, thanks very much. Well, they were booed off after the Spurs game on Sunday at Anfield. Not the case this evening because the first half, they've taken the lead on the night. They've levelled it out on aggregate. And Stuart Pearce, they have played very well, Liverpool. They should be in front by more, shouldn't they?
They certainly should. I think any supporters that turn up anywhere in the world and watch their team play with the intensity that Liverpool have from the first minute will be absolutely delighted. And everyone inside Anfield has roared the team on. I've got to say they've played their part, but they've taken the lead from the team. From the first minute, they've got on the front foot, they've pressed brilliantly, they've played through when they've had to, they've played over the top when they've had to. And to be fair, the only negative I would say in the whole performance is I would like to see Frimpong deliver some more telling balls from that right-hand side, and probably 3-0 on the runner play would have been a fair result.
Yeah, more goals is the big one, and maybe they'll come in the second half, but the stats say it all. They've had 2/3 of the possession. They've had 15 shots to Galatasaray's 3, 8 on target to Galatasaray's 1. It's been dominant from Liverpool. Talk me through the goal then, because I'm pretty amazed that Szoboszlai had so much space on the edge of the box, but it's a lovely corner routine. But how has he got that much space? Have they never heard of him before?
Well, what they've done is this, you know, they've gone sort of zonal marking certain individuals, probably half of the back line. The other half have gone man-to-man, but where Liverpool got clever, they've worked on it, they've vacated them players and cleared the penalty spot as an area, and Szoboszlai's done well as well. He's not encroached too soon. He's probably started his run maybe, 5 or 6 metres outside the box, so defenders are not thinking, hang on, there's someone right on the edge of the box who could shoot, and he's drifted in, and I've got to say, his finish was brilliant. Quite often you come in there and you can snatch at those. He didn't. He guided it into the corner, and his performance aid has been absolutely magnificent in this first half.
Yeah, he's been their player of the season, no doubt. Mo Salah, it feels like years ago. It's only about 2 or 3 months since he was dropped by Arne Slot, didn't even go to a Champions League away game in Italy, and he went public saying that he'd been thrown under the bus and had no relationship with the manager at Anfield. He's playing tonight, and actually he's played all right, and then the penalty miss, and I would have thought after Ouattara's dink down the middle in the FA Cup against West Ham United for Brentford caused so much embarrassment, he'd have put his foot through it. Isn't that how you should be taking a penalty, Stuart?
Well, you've certainly got to put more pace on it. He seemed to be caught in two minds almost, between dinking it down the middle and just maybe pulling it a little bit, closing that left foot and pulling it, and in the end he done neither, to be honest with you, and the goalkeeper just dangled a leg and there was no pace on the ball whatsoever.
Kirkes as well has impressed you in that first half?
He certainly has. Bags of energy up and down the left, very aggressive with his challenges, as all the Liverpool players have, I must say. But it's just been a brilliant performance by Liverpool. What they need to do is finish it off, get the second, get the third goal, but they need to keep the intensity in this second half.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, Stuart. Thank you very much. Actually, Stuart Pearce saying in the middle of that first half that when he came up against an opponent he knew or was a teammate, he just used to look straight through them like he'd never seen them before in his life. I know that, Stuart Pearce. Look, I've experienced that many times. It's in the balance. Liverpool 1, Galatasaray 0 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. Second half to come live on Talk Sport. And so far, so good here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the home side. Is the comeback going to happen? They played well, Alex Crook.
They have indeed. Half-time here, Tottenham 1, Atletico Madrid 0. So it's now 5-3 to Atletico Madrid on aggregate. So many goals involved with the English teams. But you're right, Adrian, Spurs have played well. Matthias Tell in particular has caught the eye. He'd had a couple of efforts, saved by one, Musso in the Atletico goal, before providing the cross that was headed in by Randall Kolo Muani. Shocking marking for Atletico Madrid, but a really good cross and header from Kolo Muani on the half-hour mark. They could have had a second soon after. It was a really good team move. Archie Gray, Kolo Muani, Xavi Simons all involved. In the end, the finish from Tell was disappointing. Easily kept out at the near post. He then forced another good save from Musso, did Tell, with a curler from outside the penalty area. Atletico, it seems to me they're a team we don't know whether to stick or twist after that heavy first leg advantage in Spain last week. They did have the ball in the back of the net after only 6 minutes, but Ademola Lookman clearly offside when he turned the ball home at the far post. And at the end of the half, they did create a couple of opportunities. Julian Alvarez saw his deflected shot brush the roof of the net, and then a really good save by Vicario. Been a spectator to that point. It was Giuliano Simeone who hit the shot from outside the penalty area. It deflected off the head of Christian Romero, and it was a brilliant save from Vicario because he was diving one way to try and keep out the initial effort. He had to readjust and he pushed the ball away one-handed. So Spurs well, not quite halfway to the comeback, but certainly the first rung on the ladder, and crucially perhaps in terms of confidence, the manager, Igor Tudor, halfway to his first victory as Spurs manager. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, I've got to say, that Vicario save, let's just focus on it for a second, because that's the kind of thing where Spurs have played well. Just before half-time, if they'd have conceded from a deflected effort, it would have taken the wind out of everybody's sails here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and the fans have been terrific, by the way. But I don't know how he got such a strong hand on it, because he's reaching so far up. He's already gone. He's already basically dived for the ball. I think it's one of the brilliant saves, and it's kept Spurs in this tie.
Yeah, and who knows how big it could be come the end of the tie, because of course the first leg was all about Antonin Kinski and his horror show before being taken off. So you wonder if Vicario has a bit of a point to prove to Igor Tudor tonight. He certainly has proved it with that save. Another player I think's done really well, actually. I know it's perplexed a few that he's been left out of the Premier League lineup in recent weeks, because he's arguably one of their most creative players, Xavi Simons, in that number 10 position, which I think he prefers. I think he's linked up really well with Tell and Kolo Muani ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm a big Xavi Simons fan, and I think he is one of the reasons why Spurs are on top. They've been playing well, maybe, just maybe in the second half. Spurs lead by 1-0. They are losing on aggregate by 5-3. Alex, not great at maths. Liverpool 1, Galatasaray 0, live on TalkSport. 1 apiece on aggregate. Bayern Munich 1-0 up against Atalanta. Harry Kane's retaken penalty. Keeper was so far off his line saving the first one, I thought he was actually going to take it. So Bayern Munich 7-0 up, 7-1 up on aggregate, and Barcelona hammered Newcastle 7-2, 8-3 on aggregate. The Spurs game's live on TalkSport 2. Championship, Southampton 1, Norwich 0 into the second half. League 2, MK Dons 1, Colchester 0. MK Dons going for automatic promotion. That's at half-time. In the WSL result, Chelsea 2, Brighton 1. Chelsea second, 7 points behind the leaders Manchester City. And in the other WSL game tonight, it is still West Ham 0, Man United 0. Into the last 15 minutes of the 90. Listening to the Champions League live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
You're really building that business, Josh. That's because you chose to bank with Virgin Money, earning cash back on your supplies, turning expenses into rewards on everything from Sanders to skip hire. He came, he soared, he conquered. Open Virgin Money's M account for business now. UK excludes NI, Channel Islands and Isle of Man. 18+. Terms and exclusions apply. Cashback rate of 0.25% backed by the current account switch service. Virgin Money is a trading name of Clydesdale Bank PLC.
Created for sports fans, a bold innovation. A duet by a bookie and a radio station. It's TalkSport Bet. The clues in the name. Sports betting for punters with their head in the game. Sign up is easy on all your devices. Exclusive promotions and bet boosted prices. Even though punters are sharing this tip, get the king of the app pack. TalkSport Bet, it's a hit.
18+ gambleaware.org. When you switch the family's unlimited plans to Vodafone, you save. So while Nan's learning to voice note,
can you hear this? Is this on?
You're saving. While your daughter's setting a new high score on her favourite game.
Get in!
You're saving. While your son's video calling his crush for 3 hours.
I love you more.
You're saving. Save more when you switch your family's plans to Vodafone with Vodafone Together. Eligible plans from the 30th of October. Credit check and terms apply.
Young people today, can they really handle responsibility? Or are we just kidding ourselves?
Welcome to McDonald's. Some think young people can't manage. We disagree. That's why 1 in 3 McDonald's managers are under 25.
Hey, Kira. Hey, Belle. How are you? Right? Yeah, I'm good. It's busy out there, though.
Like Kira from South London. She's 23 and manages a team of 20.
Let's go.
Leadership. Making it happen at McDonald's.
John Cleese's Fawlty Towers, the smash hit play, is heading to you.
Really funny.
Literally crying with laughter.
Featuring iconic moments from the series and your favourite characters, including Basil, Sybil and Manuel, and starring Paul Nicholas as the Major, alongside Joanne Clifton as Polly.
What are you doing? Everything under control, Basil?
Good old-fashioned British humour. I loved every minute of it.
5 stars.
Ah, Mr. Fawlty. Fawlty Towers Tour is coming to you. Find your nearest venue at fawltytowerstour.co.uk.
Whether you're screaming from the stands or the sofa, Virgin Bet has even more for you to shout about this season, because we're giving you a free bet builder on any Sunday football match every week this season when you bet £10. So get ready to make some noise. Join us and claim your Bet Builder free bet every week. Virgin Bet, a good bet. £1 to £20 free bet builder for any Sunday football match. Min 3 legs, min odds evens. Bet £10 in previous 7 days to qualify. T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Bet responsibly.
Champions League live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Initiate adrenaline pumps. Kickoff live on TalkSport.
This is TalkSport, your home for live football. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Bet on this season's Champions League action live tonight. Visit ladbrokes.com. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Half-time, Liverpool 1, Galatasaray 0, 1-1 on aggregate. Liverpool are 18-1 on to win this leg. The draw is 10-1, Galatasaray to win on the night, 33-1. Liverpool are 9-1 on to qualify, Galatasaray 19-4. Over on TalkSport 2, Spurs 1, Atletico Madrid 0, 5-3 to Atletico on aggregate. Spurs are 9-4 on to win this leg. The draw 29-10, Atleti to win on the night, 13-2. Spurs to qualify for the quarters, 7-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes, 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Bet on this season's Champions League action live tonight. Visit ladbrokes.com. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Back to Anfield shortly. Liverpool 1 up on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. Game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. And earlier here on TalkSport, Newcastle lost 7-2 to Barcelona in the Nou Camp. They crashed out of the Champions League, 8-3 on aggregate. Let's hear from Eddie Howe speaking to TNT Sports after that defeat. We will try and hear from Eddie Howe a little bit later on, if not catch him on the Sports Bar later or on the TalkSport Daily, which is out tomorrow morning. You can get it from where you get your podcasts. You can also get it on the TalkSport app as well. We are underway in the second half here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs are 1 up on the night, and it's 5-3 to Atletico Madrid on aggregate. That's on TalkSport 2, but on TalkSport, Liverpool lead, but the tie with Galatasaray is all square. Second half, live on TalkSport. To Anfield now with Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
Well, there's no surprise to Galatasaray making changes at half-time. As Stuart Pearce predicted, there's no Osimhen for the second half. No, Lang has come on to replace him, and Leroy Sané, former Manchester City man, is on as well. He was in the Manchester City side that lost the quarter-finals in 2018 to City. He has got a good record against Liverpool, 4 goals in 8 games. They've taken Singo off at the back. At least that was the number that came up. I beg to differ, because Singo's still out there. We'll try and work out who has made way. It would have been a very strange change. Just about to get the second half underway, but even before the action starts for the second period here, a big moment at the start of the second half at Tottenham. Alex Crook.
And those hopes of an unlikely Tottenham comeback surely extinguished, because it's now Spurs 1, Atletico Madrid 1. It's a thumping finish from Julian Alvarez, the former Manchester City man. Spurs are claiming that there was a foul on the edge of the opposite penalty area. Atletico broke quickly. It was Lookman down the left, cuts it back for Alvarez. An emphatic finish to make it 1-1. And it's now 6-3 Atletico on aggregate.
Crookie, thank you very much indeed. So Alvarez scoring the goal that surely is the last nail in the coffin for Spurs. Well, Liverpool have a free kick, which they will take on the left-hand side. Still the 11 that started the game for Liverpool. Alisson in goal for him, Boncanate, Van Dijk and Kirkes, Gravenberch and McAllister, Salah, Szoboszlai and Wirtz and Ekitike. Szoboszlai scoring a goal, Salah seeing a penalty saved. Galatasaray, Xhaka in goal, Boyce, Singo, Barakcha and Jacobs, Torreira and Lamina, and then Sané, Sara, Yilmaz and Lang. Liverpool in possession with Ekitike. Challenge comes in on him, around the blind side from Lemina. Helped on by Leroy Sané. Down towards the left-hand side for Yilmaz. Lang trying to make his way through the middle. Not a bad ball inside the penalty area, but he was well knocked away by Virgil van Dijk. And put out for a throw that'll be taken on the Galatasaray right. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, super recovery there by Kirkes. Managed to just do enough with a challenge on Sané and then cleared up. And Galatasaray look as though they'd come out and taken a leaf out of Liverpool's book and playing with a touch more intensity now.
Sané, who's come on the right wing, and the change that they've made, they've dropped Shalhoy back into right back. They've taken Sacha Boey off. Shalhoy, who does play right back almost as often as he plays on the right wing, is now playing in the defensive line. Sané is playing down the right. Noah Lang down the left-hand side, and Yilmaz in a slightly more central role. And here is Lang chasing after this. Frimpong going with him. It's Lang that has been able to pick it up. A couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline. Turning into a little bit of space. Lays it back for Torreira. Torreira's ball through the centre circle for Singo. Now to Shalhoy. Possession here for Galatasaray. Big cheer and Gravenberch is able to pick it up and win it back. Ekitike now towards McAllister, who draws the challenge of Shalhoy. Helped on for Ekitike. The angle's tight. Goalkeeper beats it away at the near post, high up in the air, and is able to catch it at the second attempt.
I'll tell you what, looking at Galatasaray now, they're throwing more men forward, and when they're being broken on by Liverpool, they're just leaving their men forward. I think they're going to say, we can't sit back and defend because we're not going to be good enough to do so. We're going to have to get a goal.
Well, domestically, they average nearly 2.5 goals a game. In the Champions League, it has been a different story. Unsurprisingly, found goals much harder to come by in European football. They've got 6 in their 5 away games in Europe this season, but they've conceded twice as many as that. Ball's out for a throw. And it's going to be taken on the Galatasaray left. As things stand right now, no further goals. This goes to extra time and then penalties. There's a long way to go. Noah Lang, forward towards Yilmaz. Yilmaz taking on Konate. Great strength shown from Konate. This referee's been happy to put whistle to mouth. He's been very consistent in the way that he's applied the laws, but he's not let anything go. And Konate, perhaps sensing that and seeing where the parameters have been through the course of the night, have made sure that the referee realised contact had been made by Yilmaz and has won a free kick.
Yeah, and as I say, the format of this second half at this moment in time has settled down a little bit. Liverpool have been a little bit more conservative, let's say, where they're approaching this second half, and they've got to make sure they don't let Galatasaray get a foothold in the game.
Ekitike, great little reverse ball in. Salah got there ahead of the goalkeeper, but he had such little room to work with. And Xhaka was able to make the save. Another goal at Spurs, Alex Crook.
And another goal for Tottenham. Spurs 2, Atletico 1. Xavi Simons with a brilliant finish from 20 yards out, rifles it into the bottom left corner, but he owes an awful lot to Archie Gray, whose tenacity won the ball back high inside the Atletico half. Tottenham lead 2-1 on the night. It's now 6-4.